Up here on Mountain News at 5:30, road crews are working to avoid another major shutdown like the ones last week as more winter weather looms. And with cold and snow, many often find themselves feeling the effects of seasonal depression. What health experts say you can do to combat it.
And our severe weather alert day coverage has begun as we watch an impactful winter storm move into the mountains for the weekend. I'll have the very latest coming up right now at 5:30.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good afternoon to you. I'm Dakota Makeris. We begin our severe weather alert day coverage this evening. Let's head in to meteorologist Evan Hatter with the latest. Evan, good evening to you.
Good evening, Dakota. We're live here at the Corbin Arena at the 2022 WYMT Kentucky Fishing Expo presented by Pittsburgh Marine. And we've seen a pretty steady crowd since things have opened up about an hour and a half ago as we've come on out here. So it'll be a good night to come on out here through 8 o'clock. And we'll hear through 9 a.m. or starting at 9 a.m. on our Saturday and rolling through about 7 o'clock in the evening. Those are your two prime days to come on out here, because we've got some winter weather on the way. A winter storm watch is in effect for the entire area as we head late Saturday night, early Sunday through early Monday morning. That's how it looks in the future. Outside right now, a pretty nice sunset on the way. Mid-30s, Buffalo Mountain in Perry County, with the sun falling just below those clouds there on the edge of the horizon. You can see just a peak of sun there left. Overcast skies continue at the Mountain Parkway at Slade at this hour. You can see where we saw the sunshine today. Temperatures remaining in the mid to upper 40s in the Cumberland Valley, and we stay in the mid-30s as we head through much of the rest of the area. Look at Pikeville, the cool spot, even beating out Wise right now, sitting at 33. Clean sweep on pinpoint Doppler throughout this evening, at least around the mountains. Not the case as you head out to our north and west. Already seeing the first images of that big winter storm getting going across the plains, and it's headed in our direction as we head into the weekend. So go ahead and download that WYMT weather app, scan that code in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We'll have that with you as we head later on through the later newscasts as well. As we head into tonight, we're down into the low 30s with cloudy skies. But as we head into tomorrow, we'll see the first flakes, and the winter storm begins in earnest as we head into late Saturday night and early on Sunday. I'll have the very latest coming up a little bit later on right here from Corbin. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you so much. Well, road crews are working to avoid some of those major shutdowns like we saw on I-75 and I-64 during the last storm. I-75 was closed multiple times in several different areas from Thursday to Friday, and local and state officials have several theories on why this is a problem area. State highway officials in Somerset say they have 5 plow trucks assigned solely to the interstate in Rockcastle County, but there's only so much they can and local crews can do when a big snow comes.
I just know that as far as record services goes, a lot of people was telling me when they called, it was like going to be 5 to 6 hours before they could ever get to them.
Rockcastle County officials say they are ready for another snow event with plenty of salt. They say several new shipments were expected in today. State police say if you are planning to travel when snow is forecasted, have plenty of supplies with you in case you are stuck in stopped traffic. Well, as we get halfway into January, this time can be difficult for many mentally. Our Chaz Jenkins sat down with health officials on why this is and how to combat it.
For many during this part of the winter season, seasonal depression is at an all-time high.
January starts off kind of with a bang with New Year's and so forth. And then as we settle into our routines, it's like, it's kind of the same old thing.
And for many Kentuckians, this year has not been friendly.
We've had flooding, we've had tornadoes. You know, it's tough on top of already trying to just settle into a new year, and then we throw COVID in there.
Health officials cite several ways to combat depression, including listening to music, exercising, and having a good sleep schedule.
We can help ourselves, but we get busy. We get into this January routine and the humdrum of life and so forth, and we're not thinking about that.
But if you find yourself not being able to function in everyday life, medical assistance is recommended.
Medication doesn't have to last forever either. It can be sometimes people can be going through a depression and then they can get better. You can discontinue the medicine and then they kind of normalize.
Either way, health officials say help is always available.
To think that the main thing is we're going through these things. The word through indicates we are going to come out on the other side.
Getting past the dreariness the season can bring. In Knott County, Chaz Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Jones says she has been seeing about 20 clients a day since 2022 began. Well, the Supreme Court has stopped the Biden administration from requiring employees at large businesses to be vaccinated against COVID or undergo weekly testing. In a 6-3 decision, the court's conservative majority wrote that OSHA rule is, quote, a significant encroachment into the lives and health of a vast number of employees, adding that COVID is, quote, not an occupational hazard in most businesses.
We're, of course, immensely disappointed by that decision. More work to be done, no question.
Well, at the same time, the High Court did uphold a new federal rule requiring vaccinations in many medical settings. The U.S. continues to face record hospitalizations fueled by the Omicron variant. Well, in 2021, the leading cause of death among U.S. police officers was COVID-19. A new report from the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund found more than 300 federal, state, and local police officers died because of COVID just last year. Now, despite the numbers, police officers and law enforcement unions have pushed back against vaccine mandates and have threatened resignations and lawsuits, but COVID is still a significant problem. And intentional killings of police officers reached a 20-year high in 2021. According to FBI data, 73 officers died in targeted killings of officers in the line of duty. That marks the highest total recorded by the agency since 1995 and excludes officers killed in the September 11th attacks. The FBI reported 55 officers were killed by gunfire in 2021 through the end of November. That's up from 39 in the same time frame in both 2020 and 2019. Separately, 56 officers were killed accidentally while in the line of duty last year. That's up from 46 in 2020. Well, the government has filed its most serious charges to date against the men it says helped organize the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
Stuart Rhodes was scheduled to make his first court appearance Friday afternoon on charges of seditious conspiracy for his role in the January 6th Capitol assault.
Sedition, in this case, when you're talking about an act of violence in an attempt to overthrow a government by stopping the election of the president, I think it fits.
The government accuses Rhodes of using encrypted messages to organize the January 6th assault, including this message to his leader saying, "We aren't getting through this without a civil war." On that day, the government claims Rhodes allegedly directed Oath Keepers to march on the Capitol in two stack formations to breach the building. Once inside, the charging documents allege one team headed toward the Senate chamber, while a second team went in search of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Rhodes' civil attorney says his client never entered the Capitol.
I don't believe that any of these charges can be proven at trial. I think they were dumb to go to the Capitol. I mean, he's like, I didn't go to the Capitol because I'm not dumb. I'm not going to do that.
As the leader of one extremist group is going behind bars, the leader of another extremist group has been set free. Henry Enrique Tarrio was released from jail in Washington, D.C. Friday morning. He was arrested 2 days prior to January 6th and served 4 months in jail for setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner.
I might take a step away from leadership right now from the Proud Boys organization. I plan to comply with the January 6th committee to the best of my abilities.
At least 37 members of the Proud Boys have been arrested and charged for their actions on January 6th. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The Congressional Committee investigating the January 6th assault has already issued a subpoena for Tarrio to give testimony. Well, the Biden administration believes Russia could be getting ready to invade the Ukraine. A U.S. official says there is new intelligence indicating Russia is preparing a so-called false flag operation to justify an invasion. Well, the official said the plan includes a group of Russian operatives who are trained in urban warfare and using explosives to carry out sabotage against Russian forces. The move would essentially frame the Ukraine for the attack. Meanwhile, several Ukrainian government websites went offline Friday in a massive cyber attack. Hackers left messages warning people to, quote, prepare for the worst. Well, police in New Mexico say Alec Baldwin hasn't given his cell phone to authorities investigating the fatal shootings on the set of his movie Rust. Well, that's according to a Thursday statement from the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office. Authorities issued a search warrant for the phone last month as part of the investigation into the death of the cinematographer. Prosecutors have been working with Baldwin's attorney to facilitate the handover since December 20th. Baldwin says it's been delayed by the negotiation, which involves narrowing the list of items authorities can have access to on the phone. Well, coming up here on 5:30, the Biden administration announces billions of dollars in funding to fix the nation's bridges. The reasons why it could be a game changer for the bridges in your community.
And we're still watching a winter storm beginning to approach the mountains as we head into the weekend. I'll have the very latest on the way.